The next time you are going to apply for a business loan, with the hex I'm going to show you into this conversation, you are going to get a massive approval, guaranteed. The thing is that if you know how to apply for a business loan, you are always going to be approved no matter what. If you know the right questions to ask, if you know the right timing to actually apply for the business loan. I mean, there are a lot of things that you need to pay attention to when it comes to applying for a business loan, that if you do it right, no matter what, you will get approved. It doesn't matter if you are a startup, if you are, let's say, a business with no revenue, you are a business with inconsistent revenue, or you're a business with bad credit score, either at the personal level or at the business level, you are always going to get qualified for a business loan. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the steps I want you to follow right now. It's very important to understand that when you are ready to borrow money for your business, it's important to feel comfortable with the process. The things a lot of folks are not comfortable. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small business owners, they are not comfortable with the process. In other words, they do not know how to actually approach a bank, a credit union, an online lender, or an alternative lender in terms of their business loan. So choosing which institution to reach out to, choosing which platform to go to, apply for a business loan really matters a lot. What I'm trying to say, for example, is if you are trying to apply at a business loan at Chase versus Citi, or versus let's say Blue Vine, which is an online business lender, or if you're applying for a business loan with an alternative lender such as Kalamata Group, there are a lot of things that you need to really pay attention to, and you just don't wake up one day, brush your teeth, and just say, you know what, I'm going to go into apply for a business loan. It takes a formula. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. And the first thing you want to do here is to ask questions and take notes when you meet with the lender or the lender rep. So for example, when you actually, the very first step you want to take when you apply for a business loan is to always ask questions. Go to a branch. If this is a traditional bank or credit union, go to a branch. I mean, the thing is, a lot of folks are like, yeah, I'm tired. I have a 9-to-5 job. I ain't got no time. Well, you better take the time to go to a branch. In some parts of the country, the branches are open on Saturday. So that's kind of cool. Or give a call to an alternative lender. Give a call to an online lender. You want to start asking questions. Very important. Ask questions. That's how everything starts. Sometimes you're scared about, like your ass is scared about something you have no idea about. Your ass is scared about something that in reality does not exist. You just sitting there just scared. Yeah, I don't know if I apply now, they are going to deny my ass. Well, you never knew. You never know if you don't try. Ask questions. The second thing I want you to be really aware of is that you have potential loan fee scams. There are something called loan fee scams. Sometimes you have some lenders, they'll charge you like crazy. They'll charge you for closing fees. They'll charge you for paper fees. They'll charge you for whatever fees. You're like, why are you charging me this? Well, they're charging you because, they can charge you. They can charge you. It's legal. I mean, there's nothing illegal in it. They have something called closing fees, administrative fees. They have something called a file fee. It's just crazy. So be very careful. And you only have this problem if you apply with dodgy lenders. Don't apply for a business loan with dodgy lenders. And you have dodgy lenders. Most of the time when you apply online, especially those online lenders and alternative lenders. Do me a favor right now. If you are thinking about applying for a business loan and you have let's say a lender with whom you want to apply, please drop us a comment below and let us know if this is a legit business lender, and we'll let you know. This is only if this is not a traditional bank, because banks and credit unions are regulated, and so basically they're usually like pretty stable, pretty like legit businesses. But when we start talking about business lenders, online or alternative lenders, I mean, things become a little dodgy here. Even though lenders are regulated at the state level, sometimes you don't know. I mean, sometimes some, not the lenders themselves, but those intermediaries, those middlemen, they like to play game. They try to razzle dazzle you. I mean, you have a lot of websites like that. You have companies that they actually pose as lenders, but they're not lenders. They're just like loan brokers. or what have you. So you got to be really careful in making sure that you know who is who, and so it's important. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I just want to talk. I want to give you 5 business loan hacks that get you approved massively. The first one is to ask questions and take notes when you meet with lenders. If you want to get a $100,000 business loan, ask questions so that you know whether or not it is possible in your situation. Second thing is be aware of potential loan fee scams. Don't let anybody try to razzle dazzle you, charge you crazy fees for a business loan that you know you could get elsewhere very cheaply. Okay, ask questions and be aware, be cautious. And the third thing I want you to do, boss, is to really safeguard your personal or business credit score from too many inquiries. See, the whole thing is anytime you apply for a business loan, you are going to get a hard pull. And you can get a hard pull. The thing is, you have this duality. You get a hard pull personally, and you get a hard pull on the business level. That's if you have a business credit score. Okay. And when we talk about business credit score, and we're talking about having hard pulls, it's not just about one hard pull. You're getting hard pulls you can have a hard pull potentially in 6 different places. On the personal side, you can get a hard pull on your Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion if the lender actually checks everything. And on the personal side, you are having Dun & Bradstreet, you are having Experian, and you're having Equifax. That's just a lot of hard pulls, boss. Think about that. That's why it's really important to learn to apply for a business loan using EIN only. In other words, you are putting forward your company's EIN, aka your company's business credit score, your company's financial profile, your company's financial stability, your company's financial, I would say, processes. That's what you want to really think about. So you want to apply for a business loan using EIN only. That way you can actually get a massive loan approval, because see, the thing is, you are actually taking out of the process your personal credit. So you are actually asking the lender de facto to check only your business credit score and to forget about your personal FICO score and your social. Okay, so you're getting your EIN, you're getting also your you're making sure that your Dun & Bradstreet paydebt score is decent, your Experian IntelliPlus score is decent, your Equifax credit score is decent. Those are things you really need to think. So if you do that, you'll always get approved massively, because you have understood that you do not apply frequently for a business loan. You apply when you need it, so that when you do apply, your FICO score is up and your paydebt score is up also. The next thing I want you to do here is to take the time. Don't feel feel pressured to apply for a business loan. Son, daughter, the thing is that what we have seen in our research for the last 20 to 30 years is that a lot of business owners are rushing to get a business loan, because I need the money right now. I need to take care of inventory. I need to make payroll, whatever. Getting a business loan, you need to plan things. You need to really take the time to understand the process. And you need to understand that the lender also needs time to understand your situation and get you the massive business loan that you need and deserve. This is really important. Take your time. Take the time to ask questions. Take the time to take notes. Take the time to understand the state of the economy, the niche you're in. Is your sector on a positive trajectory? Is your sector on an upward trajectory? Or is your niche having, I would say, economic ebbs and flows? What is really happening? Talk to me about that. When you take the time to actually apply for a business loan, you are going to get approved. You know why? Because you are taking the time to analyze the situation. You're taking the time to analyze your pros and cons, your fortes and weaknesses. so that you know if you have some weaknesses in terms of your business loan application, you have the time to actually fix those weaknesses before applying. Think about that. Think about what a wonderful scenario you are going to have when you apply for a business loan and you know you have all questions. All questions answered. What am I talking about? All questions answered. You know, you are ticking all the boxes. Let me give you an example. If you know you are going to need a loan, let's say 1 month from now or 3 months from now, start applying today. That way you are taking your time. Okay. Usually we advise our business clients to start the preparation for a business loan 3 months in advance at least. So if we are in January, you know you might need to have a loan around, let's say May, you want to start now, or April, you want to start now, because it does take time to actually get approved for a decent loan with decent terms and conditions. Okay. Don't feel pressured to apply for a loan. If you feel pressured to apply for a loan, you're not going to apply properly. And chances are you might be denied, or you might get a smaller business loan than you would have if you had actually taken the time. I want you to really get a second quote from another lender. See, the thing is, son, daughter, aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandmother, dad, mom, if you are trying to get a business loan and you want to get approved massively, it's really important to always get a second opinion, to get a second quote, a third quote. But the thing is, when you start applying, you want to look for pre-qualification. This is actually important. You want to look for pre-qualification so that you are clear about the type of business loan you can go for. That way you have a chance to really choose. Okay. And so when we talk about getting a quote from a second lender, the second business lender, it can be a second or a third business lender. Generally, we tell our clients to look for a business loan, let's say to have at least 3 different quotes. That way you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into. You know what's available out there. You know what the competition is actually proposing to you. And you can also gauge your situation, like your power, your particular, like your attractiveness, what we call your business's attractiveness, your borrowing attractiveness vis-a-vis lenders. You know if your business is a hot commodity or not. So this is important because, see, the thing is, if you just want to apply for a business loan at a bank, at your bank, you never know if the quote that you got from the underwriters at your bank is actually if that quote is the best or not. Okay. Boss, by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm sharing with you 5 business loan hacks that get you approved massively, no matter what, no matter your credit score, no matter your revenue model, no matter your company's operational history, whether you are a startup, a new business, an established business, or a business in between. And it's really important to understand that when it comes to getting a quote from another lender, it's always better to go with we can have 2 quotes from the same lender category and 1 quote from other lenders. So for example, if you want to get a business loan from a bank, try to get 2 quotes from 2 different banks. And then you can try to get a quote from a credit union or a business lender or an alternative lender. So here you have it, the 5 hacks that you really need to that get you approved massively. Now, I want to give you a few pro tips before we actually close to this conversation. The thing here is that sometimes it is important to actually, you can try to get a personal loan to finance the business. For example, let's say if you have a single member LLC or you have a sole proprietorship, in that configuration, you can basically take a personal loan to actually take care of your business, And this is important to understand that you got to ask yourself whether or not you really need a business loan in that case. If you do, okay, that's a possibility. But either you use, whether you use a personal loan or a business loan, it's really important to understand that you got to ask yourself whether or not you really need the loan. Really, and if you need the loan, why do you need the loan? So do you actually need a business loan? And if you can't get a business loan, can you use a personal loan to take care of your business in terms of if you are a sole proprietorship or a single member LLC or single member S corporation or what have you? Do you actually need a personal loan? Do you actually need a business loan? Or do you need a loan in general? Those are questions I want you to ask, because sometimes you might say, you know what, I need a business loan. Okay, but do you actually need a business loan? Do you actually need to borrow at this specific time? Like we are, say, we are in January, or we are in June, or we are in September. Question is, do you need to borrow now in September for your business, or can the borrowing just wait a little, like can you wait a little bit? Instead of applying for a business loan in September, can you maybe apply for a business loan in February, the February of the next year? Maybe you're going to have customers who are going to pay you a little early so that you can beef up your liquidity. Or you can try something else where instead of getting, let's say, a business loan, you might try a business line of credit. So those are possibilities. So you got to ask yourself whether or not you actually need a business loan, or you actually need a personal loan, or a loan in general to take care of business, literally. And sometimes asking that question might surprise you when you actually analyze the answer. You might be like, wow, okay. I thought I need a business loan, but when I crunched the numbers, I'm realizing that I really don't need a business loan. You got to ask yourself is, can you afford this business loan? Can you afford this personal loan? If you were to go for a personal loan to sort of take care of business, but can you afford this business loan? Just thinking, we are right now in an economy. This economy is going through so many ebbs and flows, so many ups and downs. Like, the yo-yo is just crazy. The economic yo-yo is really crazy. So are you in a sector that is going through some ebbs and flows also, boss? Talk to me. Are you in a sector that's really seeing a positive trajectory right now, no matter what? What is happening in your sector? Are customers coming? Are customers flocking to your sector, or customers leaving in droves? You got to really understand what's really happening in your industry. It's not about just, I need a business loan right now. Okay, but can you afford to pay it back? In other words, are you going to generate enough revenue to actually pay back whatever business loan you are taking now? So I want you to have that reverse analysis, because see, the thing is, a lot of business lenders are only worried about one thing. They want to get paid. That's all. They'll front you the cash you are actually asking for, okay, but they just want to get paid. They want their money back. That's all it is. So when you are thinking about having a business loan application, or you want to start a business loan application, I want you to think in reverse. You got to ask yourself, okay, do I actually need a business loan, and can I afford this business loan based on the terms and conditions I might get in the market? So when we talk about affordability, we're not just talking about how much you might pay back. We're also talking about your business of your FICO score, your personal FICO score, or your business credit score, because your credit score will determine, among other things, the terms and conditions that you are going to get for the business loan. And this will have a huge impact on how much, for example, you're going to have to pay every month. And that amount will have implications on your statement of cash flows, and in general, on your liquidity levels, on your liquidity patterns, your in and outs, your inflows and outflows. This is the kind of correlation I want you to think about. This is the kind of, I would say, reverse analysis I want you to engage in. This is the kind of a strategy I want you to think about. So you just don't get up one day and say, you know what, I need a loan. I need a business loan. Boy. This doesn't happen that way. This is not how things go. If you want to get things done the proper way, you want to do this reverse analysis. You want to start early. You want to give yourself time to think. And again, if you follow these hacks, you are going to be approved all the time, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you have a poor credit score. It doesn't matter if you have no revenue or low revenue. It doesn't matter if you are in a sector that is going through ups and downs. It doesn't matter if you have a bad credit score or poor personal credit score. You will get qualified. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about 5 business loan hacks that get you approved massively. So here are the steps. Ask questions. Be aware of low loan fee scams. Safeguard your personal and business credit score. Take your time and get a second quote and sometimes a third quote. And ask yourself whether you need a personal loan or business loan for that matter. And can you afford the loan? Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Then until then, remember, stay marvelous.